Okay, good morning, everybody. I think it's an early session, but also, of course, the news from Britain this morning are not so good, and it's a little bit hard to talk now about our obligations and reforms to enter in the European Union today. But we'll continue. I'm sure Europe will be even stronger after that. In a sense, everybody will have to learn on what happened and to find also the way to reform EU, of course. Now, for us, we are in the government from almost 3 years now. And when you are in the government, of course, as in every other job, you have 1,000 of things to do, 1,000 of things. And you have also to focus because you have to bring a real change in something. And what we choose, for different reasons, was a big reform in the public administration that is not meant only like a reform of the human resources management, so only on the point of view of the resources of the human management, but also a reform of the public services. I will say just a few words about the civil service reform. It is really, I think, a big jump, and when discussing yesterday with some of you, I was saying I personally, I've lived for 20 years in France, and I was saying that if you try to do reforms like that, like all our countries in the Balkans are doing, to enter in Europe, to be in the process of European integration. If you try to do that in France, in 2 weeks you have a revolution, but a real revolution. So I can say that all our people are absorbing enormous reforms with a with a pace that would leave every government of the European Union, or at least the Western countries, everybody proud, and everybody from them would, in a way, would be happy to be in our place because we can manage these reforms. So the first one is about the civil service. And we had a system before where every institution, we had a civil service, but every institution, every director, or every minister was picking up the candidates from 3 or 4 candidates for each position. It is like that in a lot of countries. Albania is a small country, and everybody knows everybody, so it's very difficult in these conditions to have transparent processes. And I am sure in other countries of the region it would be the same. This is the reason why we approved a law where we decided to go in pool recruitments. It means from a position-based recruitment in a career-based recruitment. So you enter the civil service in a basis position, like a law person or like an engineer and then you have a career, then the mobility is done only from inside. But it means also that the recruitment is done in group. So when you apply to be in the civil service, you apply for a group of positions. And according to your ranking, you can choose, of course, who is ranked the first, choose the first, and so on. It was difficult because, of course, every institution was unhappy not to choose the persons, because now the persons were choosing their positions. And it was a really big fight, but it lasted only 6 months. So this is the beauty of the Balkans, because we do fights, but the fights stop very, very easily also. So in 6 months, everybody had absorbed that. And now we are doing that, and we have practically, we began that in September 2014. Now it will be 2 years in September. And we have almost more than 30,000 candidates that have applied online, that have tried the procedures, that have seen with their proper eyes that is a fair and transparent procedure because it is anonymous, because all the tests are now machine corrected, and also because when they go to the oral session of questions, it is also video registered. So we have created a whole system to give trust to our citizens and to our youngs in this procedure and to attract them in the public administration. Besides that, we have probably another issue, because I was discussing with my friend Corey about the size of our public administration, and in Albania we have a very small administration, so people are under a big pressure, but this is another topic. And then, okay, this was the first thing I wanted to share with you, because I think it was something that seemed very difficult, but when you go and you focus and you decide to do it, you can push it ahead. And then the second thing, and we are in middle of that, is a reform of the public services. Because of course we need a transparent, fair, professional administration, but at the end of the day we need that to offer public services, to offer better public services. So public services were in focus also, because we have corruption, perception of corruption, we have a very poor delivery for some services, a lot of problems in service delivery. So service delivery, of course, one of the keys is digitalization. So we have a big program of digitalization. We have created an interoperability infrastructure, like a highway of our services, where every system of every ministry, of every institution is connected with the others in order to exchange data. Because of course today people don't understand, when they go to a desk, they are asked for a document that is produced just by the desk on the other door. So in this century, people believe that you can have data immediately. It's not so easy. You have to build that. So we are trying to build this all digitalized system, and this is like a question of time and money. Basically, we are building that. But in the meantime, this is not the only question, because we have today a lot of online services, like more than 200. But very few people that use them. 4 or 5% of the population that use them. On the other hand, we have 50% of the population that uses Facebook, of course. But this is easier. In Facebook, you can put your photos and that's all. When you have to have a service, when you have to have your service, you have to be some kind of autonomous to gather your documents, to upload, to decide to understand the procedure. So it's not so easy and it's not so pleasant to do it. You prefer sometimes, and for a time I think, to go to a desk and to somebody other to do it for you. So digitalization is one thing, but the other thing is how to improve the service at the desks. And there we tried to pick up the best practices of countries that are like us, so that had the same problem like we had, not the experience of the EU countries that have overcome a lot of problems during the years. And we decided to do something that I think is innovative, is working well, and can be shared. We created a centralized agency that is in charge for the customer care or citizen care, let's say, for the whole services, for all the services of the country, all the public services at the desk. And their task is only the customer care. So they have to put standards, to create procedures, to deliver services at the desks. So they are employing the employees that deliver services at the desks. They run a call center to inform citizens, but they are, allow me to say, silly. So they just apply procedures. They are there just to answer to the questions. They have procedures in their papers, and there they put all the applications to the institutions that are responsible to deliver the services. And this is a big change because, first of all, as they are not responsible for to deliver, so only to interact with the citizen, they cannot be corrupted because they cannot deliver the service. But on the other hand, they can control the back office because they are responsible for the rate of answers. So we have created an instrument to control the back offices and at the same time to have an interface that is more satisfactory for the citizens. And we have a pilot on that in one of the offices of Cadastra that was one of the more problematic ones in Tirana, in the capital, where we have 40% of the transactions of the country, of the whole country, and it is working pretty well. We have, in 4 or 5 months, we have doubled the number of applications that have a timely answer. And it is a huge result. Now it's a question of deploying that. And okay, this is, I think, the heart of this reform that we are trying to push ahead. So I'll not say more, but perhaps we'll have some questions at the end. Thank you.